Good morning. Today is Wednesday the 22nd of October 2021 and it's National Fitness Day. And MolyFit has teamed up with UK Active with the aim of getting more people more active more often. And for today's session, I've got dragged in the help of my dad, and he's going to show us this first session. So we're doing 3 sessions. We've got a 10 a.m. now, an 11 a.m. and a 12 a.m. And the 10 a.m. is working on the Nhs Guidelines for exercise. And the NHS say that you should do activities that improve your strength, your balance, and your flexibility at least 2 times a week. And what I want to do, and you're a typical example, which is why I roped you into this. So, Dad's not unfit, but he could be fitter. You walk every day. He gardens, he waters the hanging baskets, his pride and joy, mows the lawn, so he's active. But he doesn't do any specific strength exercises, balance exercises and flexibility exercises, which is okay now at your age of, do you mind me mentioning your age? At 69. But the trouble is, as you get older, that's when the problems will occur. So you're okay now, but once you start getting a little bit older, with age, things atrophy, start weakening, and that's when the problems will happen. And the biggest thing we're trying to avoid is fall prevention, because falls are the largest cause of accidental death in the UK. So what normally, you have your fall, and then that leaves you more susceptible to illness and infection and so on. So what we're going to do today is we're just going to show how easy it is to do these exercises. And like, for example, you don't need trainers and gym gear, as you are demonstrating.
I haven't got any trainers.
Exactly. So this is Dad's idea of gym gear. A nice, loose top, which is fine. You want to wear sort of non-synthetic, loose clothing, and that's fine for exercise. So what we're going to do, before you exercise, you always need to do a bit of a warm-up. If you go in straight away with exercise and you haven't warmed up, you've got more chance of pulling a muscle or straining something. So we're going to do a gentle warm-up, and I thought for the warm-up we can incorporate the flexibility aspect of the activities, okay? So let's first of all, the Moly checklist. Stand, feet hip distance apart. Now he has been following me on MolyFit, so you should know what you're doing here. Already I can see you've put your core on. Well done, Daddy.
Thank you very
much. Right, so the feet are hip distance apart and the knees are soft. Activate your core, and for those that haven't been watching MolyFit, why? But to activate the core, draw in, imagine there's a zip going from your groin up to your belly button. Draw it in slightly so you can feel muscles activating here. Now, one thing to remember, one of the core muscles is the diaphragm, so don't squeeze too tight because it will stop you breathing. We want you to breathe, so nice deep breaths, make sure your spine's neutral, and that's not too bad. Open chest and try and be relaxed, okay? And keep your head up, because if your head's forward, it makes you more unsteady, more prone to falls. We're going to start with a march. So just march on the spot, okay? Let's go. Nice and easy. So it's a warm up, so you don't have to go straight in. Good. And we're just going to do this for 20 seconds, and the idea is just to get the blood flowing around the body and get the muscles a little bit warmer. So if we do an exercise, you don't go I don't really want to give you mouth to mouth on live TV, but to be honest, so keep it easy. 10 more seconds. Good. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Perfect. So now let's work on the balance side of things. So what I want you to do for your balance, I just want you to stand back here a bit more, and we're just going to do pigeon steps. So we're going to go like that. So put your toe, heel on the toe, and then like that, and then like that, and then one more. Good. And then try doing it backwards. Back, back, back. Good. So you can see that needs improvement. And it's not because you're rubbish at balance, and oh my word, you're going to fall. It's just because you're not used to doing it. So it's like anything. Once you've done it a few times, you get better at it. Okay, so let's try that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, and back. 1, 2, 3, and you've run out of space, so your 1's going back. Let's just do 3 forward. Right, let's do 3 more. 1, 2, 3, good, and back. 1, 2, 3, and one more time. 1, 2, 3, and back. 1, 2, 3. Good, well done. How's that feel?
Terrible.
Now we're going to do what's called the grapevine. So it's a side step, but you cross the foot. So if you watch me, we're going to step, cross, and step. Okay, let's try that together. So step, cross, and step. Go the other way. Step, cross, and step. Good. And again, step, cross, step that way. Step, cross, step. 2 more. Step, cross, step. 1 more. Step, cross. Good. And the idea is, as part of the warm-up, you speed it up a bit and then you get into a rhythm. So you can see already the first few are a bit tentative and more, but by the time you got into it, that was fine. So let's do 8 on each side. Ready? As a warm-up, and we're going to go step, cross, step, and tap. All right? Make it a bit more of a warm-up. Let's go. Step, cross, step, tap. Step, cross, step. Good. Just relax and breathe. Tap, step, cross. Good. Step, cross, tap, step, cross, tap. Good. So those of you that have been watching this, you know I cannot count and talk at the same time. So I've actually got no idea of how many done. Let's go with 6. Good. 2 more. 7. 1 more. 8. Good. And rest. Well done. How was that?
That's fine.
So you can see that's all you need to do as a warm-up. You can feel your heart started beating, the blood started flowing, and that's lovely. Now let's go with strength exercises. So you can do either compound exercises, which work more than one muscle group, which are good to do, or you can do isolation exercises where you isolate a particular muscle group. So what we're going to do, we're going to work on body weight exercises. So there's 2 good ways of doing strength training, using your body weight and using resistance with either bands, which we've got, or weights. So we're going to start with the body weight exercises, and I'm just going to show you some nice easy things to do to improve your strength. So if you'd like to have a seat in the chair. Good. Right, so what I want you to do, Dad, is just stand up. Say, perfect. I take my hat off to you, sir. That was excellent. So, right. You've obviously been watching the MolyFit videos.
I've been doing that since I had my knee done.
Yeah, so Dad's had a knee replacement. So, right, sit down. So Dad's just given you an excellent example of how to sit out of a chair. So, how to stand up out of a chair. What I want you to do now is do it poorly so everyone can see the difference. Yeah, so, you know, some people stand up, put their hands on their knees, sit back down again. And the way Dad's doing it, and again.
Which way?
Good way, good way. Perfect. So what's happening there, his feet are hip distance apart, his knees aren't coming in when he stands, he's using his buttocks and his thighs and his core, and that is now turning standing up into a strength exercise. Okay, so let's do 10 of those. Nice deep. How many do you normally do? I don't want to finish you off.
Well, whatever. Any.
How many do you do at home normally?
About 8 or 10.
Alright, well if 10's your comfort zone, and that's the word we're going to use a lot, comfort zone, when you exercise you want to push yourself but not too hard, so you want to stay around the comfort zone. Right, let's go. Good. 1, good, perfect. 2, 3, good. 4, that's excellent. 5, 6, good. 7, just slow it down a bit. 8, good. 9, good. 10, and stay seated. That's excellent. So this is a great strength exercise. Now, Dad, a few years ago, Mum and Dad downsized. They moved from our family house into a bungalow. But that's one of the worst things you can do for strength. Think how many times when you live in a house with stairs, you go up and down the stairs. There's probably about 18, 20 steps in a house, and then when you go up the stairs, you're really using strengthening work because you've got to cart your body weight up the stairs one leg at a time. You take that away, it's a massive impact, and I do see a lot of people when they move into a bungalow get a reduction in their overall strength. So this is a perfect exercise to compensate for the fact that you haven't got the stairs and you're not going up and down them all day. But that was brilliant, Dad. So let's have a look at mid-row now. So this is a strength exercise, and you need a T-towel for this. So hold the T-towel like it's a bar, about shoulder distance apart. Good. And what you're going to do from here, keep your core on, try and relax your shoulders so you're not too tight, and just pull the T-towel back as far as it will go, and get the elbows as far back as you can. That's it. And now the reason you get the elbows as far back as you can is that you squeeze into the muscles here. So you're trying to strengthen these muscles here. So let's do a few of those, do 5. And this will really help with posture. 2, good. 3, good. 4, good. 5, that's excellent. There's a bit more room for improvement. Let's get the T-towel a bit lower down to the belly button. And when you come here, just hold it for a second. Really activate those muscles. We want to be creating muscle contraction. So you want to feel those muscles working. So come in, squeeze for just a couple of seconds, and then release. Try that. Good, that's better. Good, excellent. 3, good. 4 and 5, lovely. How's that?
Fine.
Good. Where do you feel it?
In my arms, to be honest.
Right. So that's normal. That's common. So obviously you're using your arms to do an exercise, and you're not thinking about or not activating those muscles. So an easy way around that is to move forward on the chair a bit. Don't use the back of the chair. Draw your core in. That's it. Now try again, squeezing into here. So your shoulder blades up here, as you come back, squeeze them together. Imagine you're squeezing like a walnut in between your shoulder blades. So just here, that's it, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And get inside your body, okay? Feel what's happening in your body. Now, can you feel it here?
No, I can't, to be honest.
Right, keep going. I mean, maybe you just have to do a few more. Keep going. Keep going. And again, and rest. Anything?
Yes, yeah.
Right, so what's happened is your arms and your shoulders are just too dominant. Now, this is the wonderful thing about exercise. It's not one size fits all. Now, when I'm teaching this exercise, I get people to do it here, okay? And that's probably the reason you can't feel it. So what we're going to do is for you, what works best for you is have the arms up here a bit and squeeze in. Try that and squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Get the elbows as far back as you can. Keep going. Squeeze into there and again. Squeeze into there and again. And squeeze into there. Now how's that feel?
Yeah.
You feel that more?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's a classic example of it. What works for one person won't work for another. So, there is no golden rule. Just play around. If you think the exercise isn't beneficial or you can't feel it, play around with the technique until you can. Perfect. Right, let's lose the T-towel. Good. So what we've done today, so far, we've done squats, which strengthen basically most of the muscles in your legs and your bum and your core, because you've got that on. We've done the mid-row, which work the big muscles in the upper back, the shoulders, the arm muscles. That's brilliant. What we're going to do now is we're going to do a little bit of floor work. How are you at getting up and down on the floor with your knee?
All right.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
Brilliant. So we're going to do a bit of strength work. And I'm going to show you some good exercises. Again, compound exercises where you can do one exercise to work many muscles. Okay? Now, this one, if you had to pick one floor exercise this is the one I want you to do. It's perfect. And we're going to do a straight arm plank. And what happens with this, it works for so many muscles, and you don't have to do it for long.
Okay.
Right? All I want you to do, go on all fours. Obviously be careful of your knee, alright? Bring your feet back like that, and hold it there. Right, so before, see the look of dread on your face. When was the last time you tried anything like this?
Never.
Exactly. So, you know, this is I mean, if say, for example, if you were watching an online exercise class, or an exercise DVD, and they did this one, would you just bore it, would you skip it? Or would you give it a go?
I'll give it a go, I suppose.
Brilliant, okay, so I just want to show you how easy it is to do something like this. And the benefits are amazing because it will strengthen. I mean, with this one exercise, you're doing so many different things that will be a positive benefit to the body. So, I'll show you
Even
again.
my body.
Like this, hands directly underneath shoulders, and just put your feet back like so. Now, you don't want to dip, you don't want the exercise to go into the back. You want your bottom the same height as your head and your shoulders. Hold it there, okay? And we're just going to hold that for about 10 seconds. Alright, so.
Try it.
Okay, so that looks good. One foot back than the other one. So we've got a bit of a dip here, so raise the bums higher. Breathe, 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 and hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and well done, rest. Good. Right, so.
Problem with that is these shoes aren't very good for that exercise because
I'm slipping on the floor.
Yeah, so, you know, at home, you'd either do it in barefoot, or I wouldn't do it in socks on the carpet.
No,
You've got a lot of wooden on the floor, so you'd slide, so probably barefoot's best. Or, it's Christmas coming up, I'll buy some trainers. So, up you come, and then have a seat.
Oh, right.
Have a seat. Okay? So, how was that?
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
So, was it easy? Was it challenging? Was it not too bad?
Wasn't too bad.
So what I would say to you then, I would say do that for 30 seconds and challenge yourself a bit. Hold it for 30 seconds. Okay. So the biggest thing, the two things you need to remember when you're doing that, most important of all is breathe, right? Because you're doing something you're not familiar with, so you're going to be concentrating on straining and holding, and you will not be breathing. So get the air in. Don't want mum to come in from the garden and find you lying there. And then second of all is, as I guided your bum up, bring your bum up, because it's too easy to dip down and then the body weight goes in the back. Okay. We want to get the core working, so raise your bum and it puts it, basically what you've done there is you're working on your fitness, you're working on your balance, you're working on coordination, strength, everything all in one. If you think, you know, you've got your body weight going through your arms, you're using your chest, your shoulders, your back, thighs, everything's being worked on, and it's such a great exercise and so easy to do. But, you know, the NHS guidelines say do these 2-3 times a week. I would say that routine we've just done, why can't you do that every day?
Every day, yeah.
And if you did that every day, you would massively, because you're doing strength body weight exercises, you'd massively improve your overall fitness and wellness. So the routine would be, you know, I don't know, either probably do it before breakfast, because when you exercise you don't want to do it straight after a meal. So before breakfast, you know, on the bed or a chair, stand up and down for 10, grab the old tea towel, mid-row for 10, and then get down on the floor and hold the plank for 30 seconds with the mindset that you're trying to get as near to a minute as possible. And then that little routine, which takes, 2 minutes? Will massively benefit your day-to-day. So they're the body weight and the compound exercises. What we're going to do now is move on to, I brought some bands behind you there. So I'm going to show you a lovely quick routine using, these are called resistance tubes or resistance bands. And they're sort of like a substitute for weights. So There's various colours, which basically, that's the weaker one,
Okay.
that's the medium one, and that's the stronger one, okay? So, we'll just take the weak one, because we're not trying to prove anything, we're just showing you how to use these. So I definitely get yourself a pair of these, and you know, add these into your day, well, do them a couple of times a week. So if you stand up, so with these bands, what we're going to do 2 exercises, okay? Now you've always had, your posture's now, I don't want to start bringing you in here and slating you off, but your posture has always needed room for improvement. So this is a great exercise to improve your posture. But if you do it poorly, I remember Dad and I never talk about fitness and exercise, and the only time that I have ever I'm a sports therapist, so my day job is sort of massage and relieving muscles, and the only time I have covered you in baby oil and rubbed you was that time, was Dad had a frozen shoulder. And frozen shoulders are basically, something goes wrong with the muscles in the shoulder and you lose mobility. And it's a bit of a pain, and it took a few massages to get right, but we fixed it. Now, what we don't want to do is aggravate that. Okay, so when you're doing these exercises, it's very important that you think about the exercises, and if it doesn't feel right, then stop it. Okay?
Yep.
So I'm going to give you 2 exercises to do, and we're going to work on the shoulders, which will help pull you upright, and then also we're going to work on some arm strength. Okay, so hold the band like so, and then what we're going to do is put one foot, but make sure it's under the arch of the foot. You don't want it near the toe, because believe me, when that pings off and hits you on the nose, it is not very pleasant. Okay, so stand tall, put your core on, hands by your sides, and now soften your elbows slightly. Okay, and what you're going to do is just up to shoulder height and down. Good. Now just look forward, and let's do 10 of those. Breathe. Now, when you breathe, always on the force, breathe out. So before you start, breathe in, and as you breathe out, bring the arms up. Good. That's 3. Lovely. 4. Good. 5. Good. 6. Take your time. 7. Keep that core on. Tighten your buttocks as well. That will hold you in place. 8, I think. 9. And rest. Good. Now, how was that?
Yeah, fine.
Yeah?
I can feel it in the back of my shoulders here.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. So that's where you want to feel it. So I would have said stop if you feel it in your neck or your back. And it either means you need to have a look at your technique again, or just leave it for that day. So again, that's a lovely exercise. And I'd add those, put those in a couple of times in the week, add those into your little routine.
Mm-hmm.
And the other one, what you can do when that starts getting a bit easy, you can either get another band with more resistance, or if you put 2 feet on the band, like so,
Okay.
just make sure they're even each side. And now try it. No, so knuckles up.
No.
So you need to play around and come up. Knuckles up there, that's it, up to there and down. So you can see there,
Yeah,
you've increased the resistance and made it harder.
Yes.
Yeah? So when 1 foot's too easy, then go on to 2 feet.
Yeah.
Right, now for the next exercise, you're going to keep 2 feet on, and we're going to do a bicep curl. So, like this. Soften your knees slightly. Keep your elbows in and come up to here. Now watch this. If I come any further up to there, see that little shift there where my arm moves?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not hitting the bicep anymore.
Mm.
So you don't need to come all the way up. Just come up to chest height. And as you come up, don't just sort of do this. As you come up, visualise your butt, squeeze into it. Visualise the muscle and squeeze into it. Good. But you've now started to hyperextend a bit. So in English, you're doing that. So just soften your knees a bit. Take a breath. Activate your core and tighten those buttocks, and that will, that's it, that will keep you in position. Good, and down, good. And breathe with it. Let's go, 3, elbows in, 4, good, 5, good. Can you feel it in here?
Yeah.
Or can you feel it in here? 6, 7, can you feel it in your wrists?
No.
8, well you've got your wrist bent slightly, you want to square them off a bit here. Otherwise,
Right.
you will feel it in your wrists. So let's just do 5 like that. Keep work on those wrists. 5, 4, 3, 2, one more, and rest. So I can see that that's challenging you more than that one. Now, why? Why is that challenging you more? What can you feel? What's going on with the
I
body?
can feel it in my wrist, I can feel it all through my arm.
Yeah. So obviously the technique isn't right there. We need to work on the technique. What you were doing, you're doing this. So you need to just relax the shoulders, drop them down, and just have the wrists slightly like this, and try and use these muscles more. Okay? Try that. See, that looks better already. Just relax into it. See, it's just a new exercise, and you've got to train and teach your body how to do it properly.
Okay. That feels better.
Yeah, just squeeze it. So what you were doing before, I'm going to over-egg this, it didn't look that bad. Before you were doing that, and then you were doing that second time you were doing that. So again, if you hadn't have changed the routine, all you would have done was you've got tension in, you're feeling it here because you've got tension there, and you would have just strengthened the tension. So always think about the muscles you're using and then listen to your body. Great, that's it. That's the strength stuff. And now we're going to finish with the flexibility.
Right.
So, to me, I've always taken a holistic approach to exercise. And to me, I think the most important is flexibility. Because, you know, you can be muscular, you can be strong, you can lift up a car, but if you can't put your socks on in the morning, then what's the point? And I've got to the age now where a good day for me when I wake up is if I can put my socks on without making any noises. So
I can't say the same.
so I mean, obviously you're my dad. I know you, so I know the areas that I'd like to improve on your flexibility. So making sure your back's okay, working your posture. And also, you do a lot of bending over in the garden and that, so working the hamstring. So they're the 3 things I'm going to give to you. And they're probably the most important things. If you want a sort of active later life, you really need to look after your hamstrings, the big muscles in your bum, because they can cause so much havoc in the back, and your chest, because the chest muscles are tight, they give you bad posture. So let's work on the chest first of all, and it's an easy exercise. I just want you to clasp your fingers behind your back. That's it. Now, how does that feel?
Fine.
First of all,
No problem.
it might be that you're so tight that this feels uncomfortable. If that's the case, then don't force this one. And now from there, without arching your back, put your core on, so zip your core up. That's it. Now, did you see that shift? As soon as I said put your core on, so that just proves how just by being mindful and activating the core, it really does benefit the posture. Good. Now stick your chest out, pull your arms away towards the wall until you feel a stretch here and hold it there. Perfect. Now with a stretch, you want to hold it for at least 20 seconds. So keep breathing. Good. And let's hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, perfect. Lovely. So that's the chest stretch. And you want to do that at the end of the day. And it will seriously make a dramatic impact in your life and later life if you do that. If you keep this chest nice and loose, it will get rid of all that neck ache and tension that you get here. Right. The other 2, we're back on the floor.
All right.
Now what I did forget to bring was a pillow. And I'll show you why. So if you can just line your back knees bent. See what we've got in here. Right, hang on. Let's get this. Okay, head down.
Can't do it.
No, exactly. So, see how uncomfortable that is, and all that's doing is putting pressure on your head. So you're going to need a pillow. So, Dad's posture, what he does, is like that. Now you can change that. Because the reason this is happening is the muscles are shortening, and then over time, because he's been doing it for years, the vertebrae have just got used to being in that position. So to try and force them back, it's no good. So when you're on the floor, always use a pillow or a cushion to give your head that support, because we don't want to strain the neck and we don't want to aggravate any of the vertebrae in the neck. So the exercises we're going to do for the hamstring, it's a nice easy one. So hamstrings are the muscles in the back of your thighs, and when they tighten up, they basically give you a bad back. So I'm going to show you a nice easy stretch. You either do these on the bed or you do these on the floor. So just grab one leg behind the knee. That's it, and just pull it in gently. And now, just gently straighten it until you feel a pull in the back of the leg. Okay?
Yeah,
so you can see those hamstrings are quite tight. You should be able to, in that position, straighten the leg. But you can see there, it's really, really tight. Now, if you did these daily for a month, you would get those straight again. It's that simple. So you do the exercise and you hold it for 20 seconds. So let's do that. Let's get my timer. Nice deep breaths. Remember to breathe. Good. So you can see already that's improving just from doing that. And if I give you just a little bit of support there, that's brilliant. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Right, swap sides. Grab from underneath the knee, straighten the leg. So you can see that is quite tight. So as well as like restricting your movement, because when the muscles are tight, they obviously restrict movement because they don't flow naturally, so you have to really force through them. It will give a bad back, and there's a massive chance as well that you'll get cramp in the night, and who wants that? Because the muscles are so stiff. Right, 3, 2, 1, and relax, good. And then the last exercise we're going to get to do is to stretch the glutes. And you should definitely do this after gardening or like washing the car where you've been bending and leaning and that, because this stiffens the muscle. And then all it would take is a silly little movement of just going like that. And if those muscles are tight and they're big muscles and they're the ones that stop you from standing up straight and get you walking like so. So we're going to just do a nice easy glute stretch, and you're just going to grab the knee, grab one knee with both hands, and just pull it to the opposite shoulder. Easy as that. And you should feel the stretch here. Somewhere. Yeah? So there are other more advanced stretches, but this is the best one to do. So hold it for 20 seconds. Nice deep breaths. Don't forget to breathe. So you can see it's a nice gentle stretch. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Right, other leg. Oh, thank you. Is that my tip for the day? Thank you. Just hold it there, pull over a bit more towards the shoulder so you can feel it in the centre of that buttock. Yeah? And let's hold for another 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Good. Right, so basically, are you happy to stay down there whilst I close, or do you want to get up?
No, fine.
So basically, the whole point of this session was just to show, for someone that doesn't do any form of exercise other than walking, how easy it is to do something like that. And the routine I would suggest for you would be like a warm-up, going over the stuff we did working on the balance, then doing 10 squats, T-tail pulls for 10, a plank, and then whilst you're on the floor, lie on your back, do the glute stretch we've just done on the bum, stretch your hamstrings that we've just done, stand up, and then do a chest stretch. And if you do that little routine, which once you know what you're doing and put it all together, it will take no longer than 5 minutes, okay? You can do it, religiously like you would do cleaning your teeth every morning. That little 5-minute routine will make a massive difference, not only in your life now, but definitely when you start hitting the 80s and then fingers crossed the 90s. So, we're gonna be back at 11 o'clock and we're gonna be dealing with what I've called Nhs Niggles. So, I'm gonna show you, Dad's got a few, as he said, he's had a knee replacement, he's got arthritis, he's got a bad back, and there's a few other things. And I'm gonna show you how to exercise if you have got niggles and aches and pains. How that if you have, it shouldn't put you off exercise, and in fact how it can benefit you. So I'll look forward to seeing you in about 20 minutes. Until then, stay well and stay MolyFit.